It's time now for a look at what's been making headlines here in a week in France. French politicians are gearing up for the 2027 presidential election to replace Emmanuel Macron next year. While the far right senses this could be its best chance yet to seize power, the traditional right is at a crossroads, having lost considerable political clout. Now the Republicans have picked their candidate, Bruno Retailleau, the party leader and a former interior minister. Recent polls show him securing less than 10% of the vote, though. A French court has handed down a 15-year prison sentence to the former student who fatally stabbed his Spanish teacher, Agnès Lassalle, to death in 2023. The attack occurred in Saint-Jean-de-Luz when the student was 16 years old. As class was ending, he got up and locked the classroom door and stabbed Lassalle in the heart with a kitchen knife he brought in his bag. The defendant had been facing a minimum 20-year term. Associations that support food delivery workers here in France have filed a criminal complaint for human trafficking against the platforms Deliveroo and Uber Eats. One of the attorneys accused the companies of making significant profits by exploiting their workers. Rachel Griffiths brings us this report from our sister channel, France 2.
Working 30 days a month just to earn minimum wage. A year ago, we met Adama Sidibe, who was rushing through deliveries as quickly as possible, even at the risk of his life. This frantic pace has been going on for years.
If you're not careful, you risk an accident. If you don't arrive within a few minutes, the app sends you a warning. Once, twice, your account is blocked.
Four delivery drivers' associations have launched an unprecedented legal action. They are suing Uber and Deliveroo for human trafficking. Their lawyer accuses the companies of exploiting a vulnerable workforce.
The drivers work up to 60 hours a week in dangerous conditions for wages far below the minimum hourly wage.
Both platforms have strongly denied all the allegations. Uber Eats disputes the study cited on working hours, saying its data shows that delivery drivers log on for an average of 26 hours a week, and that their compensation has actually increased by 5% compared to 2024. Both of them say the lawsuit is baseless.
On April 24th, France reached Earth Overshoot Day. It marks the point at which the country has consumed more natural resources and emitted more greenhouse gases than ecosystems are capable of producing or absorbing in a year. Now, France is running on borrowed time when it comes to the environment. Alitza Gadiva explains.
France has reached its so-called overshoot day. This means that as of April 24th, France has used more resources and emitted more CO2 than ecosystems can regenerate and absorb in a year. Some of the criteria include meat, water and wood consumption.
The most important factor is our carbon footprint, meaning our greenhouse gas emissions. We know that the planet is finding it increasingly difficult to absorb our greenhouse gas emissions. The more hydrocarbons, oil and gas we consume, the harder it will be for the planet to absorb them, bringing forward Earth Overshoot Day.
According to a study conducted in partnership with World Wildlife Fund France, the planet has about 1.48 hectares per person to produce resources and absorb waste. That's roughly 2 football fields. But the average French person consumes nearly twice this amount. Other countries are doing better. France's Overshoot Day falls on the 24th of April. For Germany, it's the 10th of May and the 4th of June for Spain. But France is improving. This year, the date comes 5 days later than in 2025.
France said goodbye on Friday to one of its prolific stars of French cinema. Nathalie Baye's funeral was held in central Paris as well-wishers, friends, and family paid their respects before a private burial. Luke Schrago has the story.
With a white coffin, a few bouquets of flowers, and before a solemnly applauding public, Nathalie Baye makes her final appearance. The French actress, who starred in more than 80 films from France to Hollywood over a career spanning 5 decades, died last week after a long neurodegenerative illness and was laid to rest after a ceremony in central Paris on Friday. As her family attended, well-wishers shared their memories.
It was really moving. I have a lot of memories of a great woman, a great artist. The atmosphere was lovely, really magnificent.
I came to pay my respects because she gave me my love of cinema.
It was important for me to come and pay tribute to Nathalie Baye because all of us French women, all ages, from all walks of life, can identify with her.
1,400 people attended the service, from Baye's former partner, politician Jean-Louis Borloo, to a host of stars from French cinema, from Fanny Ardant to Catherine Deneuve, and friends from acting school, Francis Huster and Jacques Weber.
She was a princess, a leader. She really was a magnificent woman.
I don't think this is goodbye. I think when we look up at the sky, Nathalie will be among the stars.
Baye's daughter Laura thanked the public for their tributes. A warm farewell for an actress who made elegance and restraint hallmarks of her time in cinema, all while earning 13 awards, including 4 Césars, France's top acting accolade.
We finish now with the legendary journey from Paris to Istanbul aboard the Orient Express. Paris's Museum of Decorative Arts has been holding an exhibition that ends this Sunday, showcasing the train to mark a century of Art Deco. It displayed models of the train carriages due to come into operation at the end of next year. Nick Rushworth takes a look.
It is the most famous train in the world. The Orient Express has been on display in Paris's Decorative Arts Museum thanks to models of its new version, from the exquisitely decorated bar car to the dining car, which elevates the art of fine dining. The legendary train continues to inspire.
You want to settle in and enjoy a glass of French champagne or a cognac, which is what makes France so exceptional.
One of the highlights is this suite in one carriage, which even has its own shower.
I can see a shower where you'd feel quite at home. You could stay quite a while.
The Orient Express has been synonymous with luxury travel since 1883. It was the first to connect Paris to Istanbul in 81 hours while offering sleeping and dining on board. Agatha Christie's 1934 novel cemented its status. The designer Maxime Donjac has combined the finest materials with innovative techniques for more comfort, as for example this armchair.
It has asymmetrical armrests because most of the time it slides under a table and runs along a wall, usually on the same side. There is a slight vibration back and forth to, so to speak, cushion the train's vibration.
The decoration is incredible, as seen in this embroidered rosewood panel. The craftsmanship is from Jean-Brieuc Chevalier's workshop in the town of Angers in western France. This machine drills the huge numbers of tiny holes required for each panel of the Orient Express. Each bead is embroidered meticulously by hand, one by one, with patience and concentration.
We travel a great deal through our embroidery. It is as mesmerizing to look at as it is meditative to create.
The Jean-Brieuc Atelier is a pioneer in wood embroidery.
We reinterpret the words of fashion, beadwork, and sometimes even jewelry, and as a result, create something completely unique, something that feels both familiar and entirely new.
The new Orient Express is due to come into service in late 2027.